Over to Kristy Turnbull now to talk all things Eastern Eyre Netball. Hi Kristy, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, Dan. How are you?
I'm going very well, thank you. It's a quick recap for us because, of course, of last weekend's two games. One of them was the Rangers' 40-goal win over Cowell on Anzac Day, and we discussed that last week. So we're going to get straight into Kimba's win over Central Eyre United. Good way to start the season for them. They ran out 10-goal winners, 54-44.
Look, this would have been an absolute great game to watch. I didn't get up to Kimba to watch this, but Kimba and Storm always have a really good, tough game, and from all accounts, this game was no different, and I think the scoreline shows that as well. Storm took a little while to settle into the game. As I said in my preview last week, they've got a bit of a new-look team, and they're just trying a few different combinations and trying to work out what works best for them. It took them a while to adjust to Kimba, who come out firing right from the first whistle. So once they settled, the game sort of got more even, and Kimba took home that 10-goal win. So congratulations to Kimba for that good win, and also congratulations to Shiley Harris, who won the Anzac medal in that game.
All right, well done to Shiley Harris and to Kimba. And this was the grand final rematch. Central Eyre United winning last year's grand final 48-30. And the Flowman and I have been chatting here in the Flow studios about rivalries in footy, and it's a bit of a rivalry round in the AFL this weekend. Was there much of a rivalry here? Is there a bit of beef between the two teams after last year's grand final?
Oh, look, I think no doubt that there would have been a little bit of beef, and Storm would have wanted to retain that title, but it's always hard to come out and back up a premiership, especially with a fairly changed team. And of course, Kimba would have had a point to prove, and we know that Kimba proved those points very well, and last Saturday was no different.
Kimba back in action tomorrow. They're taking on Eastern Rangers, who have had a very good start to the season, and we've talked them up a fair bit. So this one is shaping up as a really intriguing one.
Yeah, this one will be a really good game. Both teams will come in fairly confident. Kimba especially confident after, like we just said, that win over last year's premiers. But they certainly will be cautious coming up against Rangers. We know that Rangers do play a very consistent and strong team game. They shouldn't be underestimated, and they also had a very comfortable win last week over Cowell. I've had a word from the Rangers coach that they're going to be looking to capitalise on Kimba's huge loss of Geordie McCullum that I talked about last week. So not sure if that was a bit tongue-in-cheek. But yeah, certainly Rangers, they know that they're in for a tough game still. And Kimba will be feeling the same. So I would think that both teams will have a very solid training. They'll be looking to come out, settle really quickly into this game. Neither team will want to be on the back foot.
All right, looking forward to seeing who gets up in that one. And in our other game tomorrow, Central Eyre United no doubt will be keen to get back on the winners list. They're heading to Arno Bay to take on Ports, who are playing their first game for the season. It's taken until the 2nd of May. No doubt they're very eager to get out there and play.
Yeah, I think the Ports girls are absolutely chomping at the bit to get out there. New uniforms will be sported on the day they have arrived and ready to go. So that's pretty exciting for the Ports club. They'll look very similar to the boys in the new uniforms out there on the weekend. But the Ports team is vastly different this year. They've had a few losses and they've had a few ins. So I'm just going to quickly touch on them because I haven't yet with the Ports girls. Ports have Chelsea Smith, who's returning back to her home club, and she's a nice, tall player, clean player, and can play at both ends. So she's a huge in for that team. We've got Lila Sealthorpe from Adelaide. Some people listening will recognise that surname. And yes, it is a connection. So that's pretty exciting for us. And again, got the height that Ports desperately need. Fresh up from juniors is young gun Macy Hartwick. She actually did debut in the A grade last year, had a couple of games up there, and she'll play in goals, and she's a really good into that team as well. So even though it is a fairly new playing group, I think they've had some really strong trainings, and they're a determined group of girls, and Ports are so desperate to see some success on the scoreboard. It's been a long time coming. So they would come out firing. They'll be keen to get on that court for their first game of the season. But as you said, Storm will come in. They've got a game under their belt, so they've got the nerves out of their system, and they'll have that desire to prove themselves after that loss to Kimba last week. So they would have been trained, put through their paces at training, and they will come out looking to settle earlier than they did last week and work on those new combinations and and rattle Port. So hopefully it should be a really good game of netball at Arna Bay on the weekend.
Okay, thrilling couple of games coming up this weekend. Thank you very much, Kristy. Looking forward to seeing how those games play out. Good luck to everyone playing, and Kristy, enjoy all the action this weekend. I'll speak to you next Friday.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.